But another story was, about him. One of the guys after the drop, one of them said to me, "You know that Guarnere is nuts." I said, "Yeah, why?" He said, "Well, he was in a stick that he dropped with Guarnere." And he said, "We were all cutting up and laughing," and he said, Bill hollered back, "Everybody happy?" And Bill was standing near the door, ready to go. And they all hollered, "Yeah." Of course, you lie like hell. You don't want to show you're scared. "Yeah, everybody's ready." He said, "Well, you better be. They're down there waiting for us." And all of a sudden, he said, the whole plane got real quiet. And everybody sat down, and I said, "Well, I said, "Well, what makes him nuts?" It said he didn't seem to care about it. He just was very devil-may-care. I said, "Well, that is him. That's Wild Bill." But is anything you want to know about the Holland drop, we'd be glad to tell you, or anything if you have any.
Well, here's another good story. Like you say, you think of the funny thing. You do.
Yes.
You think of the funny thing, not the bad. They'll never forget the bad thing. Here's another good story. Kids love this story when I tell them. When you jumped in Holland, they just loved you. Anything they had, they gave you.
Yep.
I think all they had was apples in a way. A lot of apples. Now you take a jump, they give you apples. You put them in your pocket. Before you know it, you got 10,000 apples. You do, you're loaded with apples. You got jump to them. All of a sudden, boom, there comes the German. What do you think I do? Get the goddamn out, throw it after the Germans. Now I'm throwing apples after the goddamn Germans. Which is true. And they think it's a secret weapon. That's true. I thought it was grenades. Though the Dutch loved the American people. Not like the French. When we jumped in France, I never saw a Frenchman. When I jumped in Holland, I seen the Dutch right there. Okay?
We're going to go right to Bastogne.
Oh, you want me to?
No. We'd like to, we're going to move on in the interest of time to the next campaign, the Bastogne campaign. Began December 16th, 1944. And we have a film clip to show you. As the Germans were rushing to capture the strategic town of Bastogne, the 101st was rushed in, and this time they made a jump by trucks rather than aircraft. Can we roll the clip?
Don't go anywhere. Welcome to Belgium. This area is known as Bastogne. Strategic crossroads town. 7 roads leading in, 7 roads leading out, which makes it ideal for crowd armor. Now, Ike wants to make sure that the crowds can't use those roads. So we're going to put a perimeter around Bastogne, dig in tight as a tick. 2nd Battalion be deployed over here to the east.
Thank God. Barely made it.
Better get yourself some ODs, Bob.
Okay.
1st Battalion's to the north on your left. Well, sir, we're a little short on ammunition. How short?
There was a limited supply in camp, sir.
Captain, you bed borrow steel ammo. But you defend this area.
Sir.
Jesus Christ. Hey, Bill. Don, come here, look at this. Come here, look at this. Jesus. I'm done. What the? What the hell is going on?
You're going the wrong way. Hey, pal.
Hey,
pal. Hey, pal. Hey, pal.
Hey.
What happened? Where are you going?
They came out of nowhere. They slaughtered us. You gotta get out of here.
you just got here.
Your ammo. Come on.
Take it. You'll need it.
Come on. Get out of here.
Hey, come on.
Who's got ammo? Got ammo? Hold on. Come on. Give me your ammo.
Who's got ammo?
You got, kid? You got any grenades? Come on, ammo.
Come here.
You got a grenade? What you got? Wait, got any grenades, dude? Who's got grenades?
Gentlemen, Mr. Compton, would you tell us a story or anecdote from your time at Bastogne?
I don't know that any one thing that sticks in my mind except just the weather and the miserable conditions. There's one thing I would like to say, though I think this is as good a time as any for me to say it, is you'll notice that we were in the Normandy, we were out and back in England, we went into Holland, eventually we're out and back to France, Mourmelon-le-Grand, now we're into Bastogne. The point being that we were in and out. And I always like to tell people that we really feel that we had it easier, and I think I would not have traded places with any of the guys that were in the line divisions, like the 1 and the 4, that slogged their way across Europe or across the South Pacific on a day-to-day basis. I wouldn't trade places with any of them. So I don't want anybody to ever get the idea that because we've gotten this sort of publicity or whatever you want to call it out of this Band of Brothers thing, that we think that we're a cut above anybody else. In fact, I don't think we did as much as a lot of other guys did in this war. What we are really are representatives of a microcosm of young guys in their 20s that were brought together from all walks of life and not professional soldiers, put together and made into a good fighting unit. That was the thrust of Band of Brothers. It was not, there's a certain mystique about jumping out of airplanes and everything, but that was not the thrust of Band of Brothers. A character study, but it's also a study of what can be done by a nation of people who have a certain amount of freedom, independence, and ingenuity. Now, to progress to Bastogne, when we started up, before we went there, we thought the war was really over. We didn't think we were going to make another jump. We were back outside of Reims. We were getting ready to play a football game on Christmas Day, and I was out coaching them, our regiment, and practicing this morning that they call us to get ready to go to Bastogne. It was out of the blue. We really thought, for all intents and purposes, the war was over, and it really was. It was a last gasp, dying effort on the part of the Germans. But anyway, my only contribution to this discussion is simply to say that it was miserable. The guys put up with an awful lot of just terrible living condition, harassment all night long, not getting much sleep. That was the worst part of it. I can remember all night long hearing armor, mechanized stuff moving, expecting the next morning to be looking down the barrel of a tank when the sun came up, but it didn't happen. But I then thought, well, maybe they're just playing recordings over over loudspeakers of all of this mechanized movement at night. But anyway, that's basically my remembrance of it, and that's where I think the commodity of the company showed its best. I remember sharing a foxhole with Guarnere at night where we'd have to stay awake 2 hours and sleep 2 hours, and I'd wake up after my sleep and he'd say, "Oh, Lieutenant, go on back to sleep, I'll look after it." He's that kind of a guy. I was sort of a rifleman with bars on my shoulders. The NCOs won the war, and they did it at Bastogne.